I tend to ghost people by accident. I get caught up in my own stuff.
I feel like I was watering dead plants in a lot of relationships.
You gotta block them people.
The ones that like make you look bad in front of guys because they were
oh my god.
No. Yeah, so who you gonna try to?
I'd rather say something than you end up being killed.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I have a guest with me.
Oh my gosh, you're so happy. Alandria. My name is Alandria.
Hi, this is my friend Alandria. So today we are going to be talking about friendships, friendship breakups, all that stuff. So let's get into it. Do you think it's easy to make friends as you get older? Like, why or why not?
Okay, well, I feel like most of your friends you meet at school. So like it depends on if you go to school, and even if you go to school, college is different. Like you don't like the interaction is not there.
True, I agree. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it, but like when you hit, like you said, like that stage where you're in college, like after you graduate, because some people don't go to college, so like after that period of time you don't really have places to interact with people, like you said, like school and stuff.
And then like for me, I didn't hang out with people like outside of school. So it's just like, dang, now I have to hang out with these people outside. Like I have to actually make time if I want to have friends. Because before, like, you could like just have friends and go to school and that would be your time for your friends. But you actually have to like make time for them.
Yeah, and I feel like it's harder for us because during 2020 we had like COVID and the pandemic.
Yeah, that messed me up.
So I feel like we didn't have like our proper goodbyes, like our proper chances to like make friends and do stuff like that.
Yeah, I have a lot of people where like I'm like, oh, let's catch up. I have yet. How long has it been? It's been like 2 years since COVID has freaking started, and I have some people that I've literally been like, oh yeah, let's hang out. I have yet. I miss you so much, and it's not that I don't miss those people. It's just it's a time thing. It's weird.
And I think like even with like jobs and stuff, when you're doing, like for me, I work with kids. I work at a daycare, so all the women are like older women, so I can't make friends my age.
Yeah.
So it's just really hard. And some people have like remote jobs, which makes it like harder to make friends. So I feel like it's just a weird time where everybody just kind of feels lonely. Our past friendships and things we would change.
Oh, child.
Like, what are some things that you would change in like your old friendship?
Mistakes that I've made, or like I think that me personally, I don't want to say I get too caught up in myself, but like once my feelings get hurt, I don't know, I feel like you need to recognize that when somebody's hurting your feelings, sometimes they're not like, it's not on purpose. And I take things to heart. Like I take like you say anything to me and I'm done for. So I feel like I've like lost a lot of friends because I've got mad over like stupid stuff. And I don't want to, like when I was upset, I wouldn't want to talk about it. Even like I've had like a friend that I was friends with for like a good second. Like we were friends for like years, like at least 5 years, and we stopped talking because I was being a big baby. And we have yet to talk to this day. Yeah, I'm still super sad about it, but it's okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. No.
As I've grown up, I've realized that I need to take more accountability for friendship breakups and realize that I can also be the problem.
Yeah.
So like,
and I feel like you need to realize that sometimes there's not black blood either. Like sometimes it's just like very mutual.
Sometimes it's not even like anything big. It's just like you guys are like distant. And, like,
yeah, I like when it just kind of like separates and it's not like a huge thing. Yeah, because it's like, it's sad, but you can still, if I were to see the person, I could be like, oh my gosh, hey, because we just grew apart. At the end of the day, like there's no bad blood. And I can still think back at like a lot of my friendships, I feel like I can't think back and be like, this person. Instead, I'm like, I hate this person, oh my gosh. But like when you slowly grow apart from somebody, I feel like you can think about it and be like, oh, like that was a cute moment that we had. But I feel like once there's that bad blood, like you don't even want to think about that person anymore.
Have you ever had like bad friendship breakups before, or has it been like all like clean slates for everybody?
They don't be clean. They don't be clean. They don't be clean.
Why is that?
I'm gonna be real. I tend to ghost people by accident. I get caught up in my own stuff and I just don't communicate. That's like one of the biggest things, is I like will literally stop talking to everybody without any notice, and then I'll pop back into their life and like want them to pretend like nothing happened.
I feel like for me, a lot of my friendships, they ended on a clean slate. Like even if initially it was like really bad blood, sometimes like I'll text people and be like, hey, like if it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas, be like, hey, like I know we haven't like spoken or anything.
See, because you're
not
not that full of yourself. I'm too full of myself to do that. I would never. it has to be like I have to have really screwed up. I don't know. It's like a ego thing. I feel like that gets in the way. I feel like that's my main like friendship problem. Like I have like it's like a big ego, or like not even ego, more like pride. Like pride gets in the way.
I want us to talk about this generation and like how we view friendships. Do you feel like people,
oh my god,
do you feel like people know how to be friends?
I feel like friendship is like weird. I don't know, everybody, and I feel like it's not even like a nowadays thing. I feel like friendships are just weird, period.
Really?
Like sometimes people just want to be friends with you because of the way you look, which is really weird. And like I get it, like you see somebody and you think that they're pretty, so you're like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. But like you not wanting to be friends with somebody for the sole purpose of they don't fit an aesthetic that you want them to is like, are you serious? Are you oh so serious? Everybody wants, it's very like superficial. Like I feel like a lot of people when it comes to friendship, like they're like, oh, I want to be her friend because she's like really pretty, and I'm like, that's so weird. And I feel like you see it a lot like on like TikTok and stuff, like on like social media, which I get it because I feel like the only thing you have to base off of is looks, but at the same time it's really weird. Like I've had friends that will want to be my friend because of the way I look, but it's like we don't have anything in common, so it's just like why are we talking?
I mean, but like somebody could look at you and think like you're really friendly, like from how you look, and be like, oh, I want to make friends with that person, and then after that you start to build.
But like I feel like that's different. I feel like other people do it, it's more like superficial.
This generation, it's not that they don't like know how to be friends per se. I feel like people don't want to be friends. Like people just want people for the aesthetic, and people want people for like, oh, I can just take Instagram pictures with them and somebody to hang out, but they don't want to do the work to be a good friend. They just want them to like do stuff. Because
friendship is work.
It is work, and people don't realize
tiring. It's a lot. That's why I have no friends. I just like
no, but I feel like it sucks when like you want to be friends with somebody and you want to build that connection, and they just want you to like hang out and do stuff, which is a part of friendship. Yeah. But it's like you need to be there through like the thick and thin, like the bad parts and the good parts.
See, but you also need to not get too, I don't want to say too attached, but I feel like that's where like the codependency comes in, and some people like get confused with like, I don't want to say like, they turn their friendships into relationships. Have you ever met somebody like that where they're like super overprotective about their friends to the point of where like it's like you guys are in a relationship, like calm down, like they don't need to give you, even in a relationship they don't need to give you all the time, but like I'm not your girl, like that's not what's happening right now. And I feel like that happens a lot too.
But shouldn't you be able to depend on your friend, like to kind of give an example?
To an extent, but like girl, if I am at work, I can't call in for you. Don't get me wrong, like I'll stop and I'll freaking change my schedule around for you, but like certain things I'm not gonna just drop everything and come to you, and that's not me being a bad friend. It's me dealing with my responsibilities. Yeah.
To go along with that, I feel like as I've gotten older, I've realized that like I need to create boundaries with my friends. Because I feel like a lot of times like I want to be such an amazing friend. I'm like, okay, like if they want me,
and you give them too much.
Yeah. And it's like I'm giving you everything I have, which is not
especially when you're not receiving it.
Yes.
It's just like
it's so annoying.
Especially like I don't know, I feel stupid. Even like my friends that I really, really like, I feel stupid asking them to hang out with me. Like I feel desperate.
Why?
I feel really desperate. Like even like I just feel like, oh my god, like please hang out with me, oh my god. Like that's how I feel when I'm like, oh, you want to hang out. So for example, if I ask you to hang out and you cancel on me, I'm not gonna be the next person asked to hang out. I'm not. You canceled on me, I'm terrified. I'm the type of person where like if my friends cancel on me, I take it personally. And I'll be like super sad about it, and then later on I'll be like, that was very dramatic of you. Literally just breathe, take a second. Which is another reason why my friendship has ended, because I'm like, you're canceling me and I'm gonna cry. Yeah, like it makes you feel like very sad.
I feel like if they cancel you all the time, then I'm like, okay, like, yeah, we need to take a break. But if it's maybe here and there, I mean, it still hurts, but like I can understand why they would cancel if they need to. Yeah. You know how you have those friendships but you feel lonely within your friendship, or like you'll have a group of people and you just feel like lonely, like you're like, nobody really cares about me. I feel like that. I've had friends, or like a friend group, where I feel like everybody's just like super like close, and I just feel like the outsider in those relationships.
I always feel like I'm never, like, when it comes to my friends, I'm never the first.
Yes.
I'm never the one that, like, somebody's like, oh, like, I'm bored, let me go do something, let me call Alandria.
And
so that's why I don't have friends. 'Cause I'm like,
it ties into this idea of like you give all to your friendships and like you don't receive that back.
Yeah.
Because it sucks.
Have you ever had like a really bad like friendship breakup that like just like felt like you were heartbroken?
Yes.
Oh my god. And it's like I can't really say anything, but it's just like literally was crying for like weeks.
And the ones that like hurt me the most were the people that I feel like I was watering dead plants in a lot of relationships, where it was like I was constantly like there
giving them your all, like literally always,
even during the pandemic. And I feel like that's the place where I felt the loneliest, was because after the pandemic, like there was a lot of friends that like you saw them at school and then you never saw them again, you never talked, you tried to text them and they never like responded.
See, but I was always the type of person where I never hung out with people outside of school. So like it wasn't normal for me to text people, so me just like floating away from people was destined to happen, I swear.
But I had a couple people that I feel like we built a really good connection, and then the pandemic happened, and I know everybody was going through their like different things, but like I would text them and be like, hey, and like I was always the one to start the conversation.
Yeah, everybody was just so depressed.
But then it was like, even in my moment of like loneliness, I was still thinking about that person.
Yeah.
So for the fact that like they didn't think about me, it was like, oh, so like what was our friendship based off of? Like was it just convenient?
Yeah, it's kind of like I feel like when it comes to like giving your energy to people in general, you have to kind of think of it as if they wanted to, they will, which like feels stupid, but like if they wanted to hang out with you, they would ask. And like there's like a whole like, oh well you want to well you don't want to that much. Obviously I don't want to that much, because if I wanted to that much I would have said something.
But that's the hardest pill for me to swallow, is if people really, like you were saying, like if people really wanted to, they would. So if they're not doing it, they don't want to enough. Again, it hurts. You just
gotta accept it. It makes me feel so much better when I'm just like, you know what, because then at least that way you're not lying to yourself.
But I feel like they're always gonna have like a special place in my heart, and I still care about them.
Yeah, which I hate. I hate that.
For me, I still follow some of those people, so like I'll see them like living their best lives.
Oh no, me?
And it just hurts.
You gotta block them people. You have to block those people.
It hurts so much.
No, you don't want to see. Listen, you don't even have to block them, because okay, you block, you feel like you care, whatever. Don't look at their story. Hide their stories. Why are you doing that to yourself?
I still want to make sure they're okay.
No.
Do you feel like big friend groups can work?
No, personally.
Maybe, actually.
I don't have that much experience with friendships.
You've never had like a big group of friends that like you all hung out and...
No, not really. I was always the person that was just kind of there in every group. I just happened to be there. It's okay. It's fine. So with that being said, I don't think I've had like a friend group since like 4th grade.
Really?
Yeah, no. I don't have friends.
Now that you say, like, I didn't have an official friend group, but there was like that group that we would always do like things with.
She had a friend group.
No,
she had a whole friend group. She had a whole friend group, because I would go to her friend group when I was alone at lunch. She had a whole friend group.
But like, this is the thing, within that friend group, I felt like there were like small cliques.
Oh no, there definitely was.
Yes.
There, and it gets like that. No, yeah, I get the vibes. And there's always that, even when it comes to not so small, like trios don't freaking work either.
Really? You don't think they could work?
I think they can, but I don't think that they do. I think for the most part, like there's always that one person that ends up getting stabbed in the back.
Yeah. And I feel like you were saying, I feel like in every big friend group I was just there. They just added me to the numbers. But I never felt
they would like, literally hang out. They would have a whole like group chat established, and then we'll be like, let's invite Alandria. And you know what? Because I had no friends, Alandria would be like, sure, I'll let you go.
I felt so lonely in those friendships, and I think it was a me thing because I never communicated how I was feeling. So I was just like,
I feel like it was
with my friend. I tried to like be friends with everybody, but there's some people.
Information, it was not her.
No, don't say that.
It gave very clicky.
No.
It gave very clicky.
No, okay, because some of them be watching this. Look, I tried to like be friends with everybody, but I felt like people were just friends with me out of like, oh, we have mutual friends, so let's just be cool.
Yeah, but it was clicky. It was extremely clicky.
I don't think they meant for it to be cliquey. I think it just happened like that.
Well, I want to let you know from the outside looking in, it was cliquey.
So I like had my moments where I was like, it's okay, I'll just stay with the people that are in the group and I'll just be cool with everybody and not say anything.
Like, there were some people that weren't cliquey.
Yeah, there were some people that weren't, but I feel like for majority of part, they were like, this is my friend. And like, when I tried to be like, oh, they were like, no. I was like, okay, that's fine. I tried not to take it personally, but I did feel lonely a lot of times in that friend group. Like, I felt like I was such an outsider and nobody cared about me, but maybe that's a me thing. Maybe they tried.
This is a depressing video, bro.
Ooh, let's talk about people who, like your friends that get into relationships and switch up.
I personally don't know how they do that, because I think to myself, like, if I were to call this guy, would he drop me for his friends? No. No. So therefore, if I'm hanging out with my friend and you want to go do something, see you tomorrow, buddy. And I hate people where it's like they get so caught up. Oh my god, not even the relationship ones. The boy crazy.
We're not even gonna talk about
boy crazy woman. Boy crazy.
The ones that like make you look bad in front of guys because they want to.
Oh my god.
No, but before we even go into that bad.
I'm so triggered. I'm so triggered. Because why are you talking about the time that I did something stupid in front of this cute guy? Why would you say that in front of Sean? Why would you say that in front of Sean? Why would you say that in front of Sean?
That's so ridiculous. How are you gonna do that to your friends?
That's so fake.
For a guy? And they're your
For a
friends?
man? Doesn't even care about you? Listen, let me tell you something. The men that I'm talking to right now, they don't care about me. And that's okay. And I promise you, none of y'all men care about you either.
Don't listen to her. What? Like, it's okay if you want to dedicate some time to your significant other. I get that. And it's going to change between your friends, but you should not put your friends on the back burner for a relationship, whether you're a boy or a girl.
And then they be coming crying back.
Yeah, so who you gonna cry to?
Oh,
who you gonna cry to when you don't have any
and you
friends?
be looking at them like,
Also, the friends that you give them advice about guys, you could tell that the guy's not right for them, and then you try to butt in, but they don't listen to you.
Yeah, and it's like the extreme levels where their boyfriend's like cheating on them multiple times, and they're like crying.
And that's the thing, they'll be asking you for the advice, and you're like, so what do you want me to tell you? Because I tell you don't listen.
Literally just told you to run away. I just told you the key to all your problems.
People in those types of relationships, sometimes they don't know. Even though it's not right, you're like, okay, I can sympathize.
I don't sympathize with them. Personally, I don't feel the sympathy.
The same amount of energy, maybe not even the same amount of energy, but like some type of energy to your friends, and not just neglect them. Because that sucks. Like when you really care about somebody, but they're like so into their relationship.
And then it really sucks when they hang out with you because their boyfriend is busy.
Yeah! Or they're bored. I mean, I can understand because that's like your significant other, especially when they get like their first boyfriend.
Yeah,
that's like a big.
I feel like you have like a grace period. Like I feel like for like the first 2 weeks of you dating, I allow you to act a fool. I allow you to act a fool. But after that, he's old news.
What about the friends where you know like the guy just gives you off vibes? Do you feel like you would tell your friend?
I do.
Like, would you step into that?
I've lost friends because of it. Because I'm like, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I've had one friend where like her boyfriend was like really douchey, like to her,
and you could sense it, and she couldn't.
To her, yeah, like rude to her. Not even on like, not even, I can't even say douchey, like on some like emotionally abusive type stuff. And like she got mad at me, and like we're not friends anymore. You
have to tread carefully when you talk about other people's relationship.
No, yeah, for sure.
Because like sometimes at a point you're just like, okay, do
I feel
what
like
you
have to scope out like how close you are. Like certain people, like I can be upfront and just be like, I would just tell you.
You told me.
I would just tell you, but certain people, no.
I'll test it out and see. If you take my advice or like I see how you react to it, then I'm like, okay, I know where.
See, but it depends. Like, how much are you bringing it up to me? Because if you're bringing it up to me constantly, I'm not gonna keep my mouth closed. If you're bringing it up to me constantly, and I can see that it's hurting you as a friend, I feel like it's my obligation to say something. So like, even if what I say, even if you're not friends with me, I feel like, especially like if you ever had like a friend in like an abusive situation, I'd rather say something than you end up being killed. Like me personally, I'm gonna say something and you're just gonna hate me for it.
I agree. So what are some of the biggest takeaways you've taken friendship breakups? Is there like one friendship that has like taught you something?
Just pain.
But I think you learn. You know how like when you go to like middle school and high school and people are like, oh, the friends that you start off with middle school are not the friends you're gonna end up with.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, and then it happens and you're like, oh
wow. So the old people's onto something. Okay.
I always try to take the good from it and like things I can improve on, like what I could do better in the next relationship, because I always try to analyze.
Like me, like I communicate a lot more than what I did when I was younger, even though like it's still a problem.
Also, like when you're younger, like the qualifications for a friend was like, I just want somebody who's there. But then as you
Literally,
get older,
I just need somebody to chill with.
yeah, but as you get older,
Who wants to play house with? I'll play house with anybody. You want to be the horse? You want to be the horse? You want to be the dad? You want to be the dog? I feel like that's my main concern.
As you get older, you're like, I want somebody who I can depend on, who I can trust. Like, your expectations get higher.
Yeah, which also makes it harder.
It
so
does.
it's just like everything is just so much harder.
So for the viewers out there who want to make friends, what do you think would be like our advice to them?
Viewers, I'm just like, just by literally talking to people.
Yeah.
Like,
you're good
I
at
know
that.
it sounds, yeah, like,
She's really good at it.
I don't know, like, I'll talk to people in public. And if I have like a good conversation and we're talking there for like 5 minutes, I'll ask for their Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
I can never.
Like, if it's like a good vibe, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, what's your Instagram? But like, real casual. Real casual. Real casual. We're cool. We're cool.
See, but you have pretty privilege because you're pretty. So people just, okay.
I don't see that.
But unlike like us over here, it's hard. It's hard. Be approachable. Like, she's approachable.
I'm not approachable though. I'm
People
not
talk to you all the
I'm
time.
approachable when I'm talking. When I'm not talking, I look so uninterested. Literally. That's the face.
Being approachable, like your body language. Like, if you're in the corner like this, nobody wants to talk to you. But if you're
like
approachable,
I feel like it depends. Yeah.
But also, you're really good at like striking up conversations. I feel like for other
you
people,
gotta
it's
say whatever
hard.
you want to say.
See, you're bold, but for the people like us who are introverted, like, what can we do? Also, as adult, like, doing hobby stuff, like, people go to like classes, yoga and stuff like that.
I'm not a liar. I'm not gonna lie to you. She doesn't do classes.
I
She
don't.
doesn't do yoga.
I don't.
I'm not gonna
but
give you
I've
guys
been trying
advice.
No, but look, like, I'm saying for anybody who wants to do it, will I do that? We'll think about it. But what
I
saying,
can find a lot of friends by, even though I said earlier it'd be like really cliche when you find somebody pretty or something, I will literally compliment somebody even if I don't have anything to compliment you about. But like, if I feel like some type of vibe and I think that I would like be cool with you, I will compliment you over anything. I don't care. I will literally like, I've went up to people and I'll be like, I really like your vibe. And I feel like it's that easy. But I feel like we as people, we complicate things a lot.
But like, what if people are rude? Like, you come and say, oh, you look pretty, and they're like, okay. Then it like makes
Have
you
you
feel
had
bad.
people do that?
I feel like I've had people kind of like shut me out, like when I try
When
to
you
say
try
stuff.
and compliment them?
I feel like they don't accept the
I feel
compliment.
like at a certain point, like, yeah, that's rude, but I feel like if that person wants to be rude, let them be rude. I just compliment you. You want to take that moment to be like, okay, like,
maybe I'm in my head, but I feel like sometimes I'll like try and strike a conversation. You know, people who just don't want the conversation to continue.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, how are you? Like, good.
I
It's
get
like,
people
okay.
like that at work all the time.
Really?
Yeah, but you just gotta get used to rejection.
Say that one more time.
Just gotta get used to rejection. To rejection. It's okay.
Just redirection.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's a Sunday too. It is October 16th. It's a Sunday and we are preaching. Preaching. Tara's car.
Let's talk about toxic friendships. When do you cut it off? When is it like, this is too toxic for me, I don't even want to continue? What are the signs?
The second you hurt me and I let you know that you hurt me and you don't even apologize, like, okay, you didn't mean to, but the second I let you know that it hurt my feelings, I feel like you should apologize. You should be like, oh, well, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intentions, but da-da-da. You know? If you don't care that I'm hurt, then you don't care about me. So I feel like that's like first and foremost. The second somebody hurts you, the second they hurt you, yes, that's like the red flag. But the second they hurt you and you approach them about the situation and they're still really rude about it, I think that's when you have to be like, like, I can't be your friend anymore.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah. I've told people really like big insecurity of mine, and then like while we're around men, because you know, the men, they just got a hold on some of y'all. Then when we're around men, like, they'll bring up my insecurity. And I literally just told you.
It's really hard for me because I feel like after a really long time, you're like, I'm just gonna deal with that person and their stuff. Because it's like, oh, we've been friends for 10 years.
That's why you
my
have
problem.
to keep reminding yourself that if people wanted to, they would. I'm telling you, it makes like relationships, period, so much easier in life.
Yeah.
If you're just like, if you just accept the fact that if somebody doesn't do something for you or doesn't show that they care, that they just don't care.
That's
and true. Even if they say that they do, whatever, they don't.
Actions speak louder than words.
Most definitely.
To be honest.
Ignore those words. Ignore those words. Please and thank you.
No, but what you said is really true. And don't say that, oh, I've been friends with this person for so long, so I have to deal with their stuff. No, like, if they're not being a good friend, it doesn't matter if you've been friends with them for 10 years, 15 years, 5 years. At the end of the day, they're not a good friend.
And at the end of the day, sadly, everybody's replaceable. Like, if somebody put up with your, I'm sorry, but if somebody put up let's say you're friends with somebody for 10 years, you're telling me somebody put up with your stuff for 10 years and you can't find somebody else that won't? Shut up, find new friends. You know, I'm just saying.
As well, people change so much within those years. So
They
like,
do.
if you guys grow apart, like, you grow apart. It is what it is.
That's okay. And I feel like that's where people get confused. They feel like you can't just end a friendship on a good note. But you can.
Yeah.
It's okay. And I like it. I like when it ends on a good note because you can talk about it. It's cool. It's just like, oh, it's like happy tears, not like, oh, I'm gonna kill this lady. You know?
Yeah. Okay, to go back to what we were talking about before, about like people not knowing how to be friends in this generation, what about comparing your friend group to somebody else's? Like, you know how like you see on TV shows and movies, or
me
even
personally,
around,
I don't have a friend group. So
or even like friendships.
I'll look and I'm just like, I want a friend group. And then it's like I'll have friends, but we're not a friend group.
Yeah, you can't like.
And I'm like, y'all need to be my friend group. Like, everybody just talk to each other so we can be a group of friends.
On social media, a lot of times people will flex like these big groups and stuff like that. But then
But
when you
they're not
talk to them,
friends.
yeah, they're
They're
like,
not
oh,
friends.
that's not my friend.
Yeah, they're like
we-
mutual, or they're like mutual, like they're like acquaintances and they only talk because they're all like associated with one person. It's like, and maybe I shouldn't really root for that, but
So don't compare your relationships because you see things on social media, because it's not what it seems. I was talking to one girl and I was like, you always hang out with these people. She was like, they're not really my friends. Like, we hang out, but I can't talk to them about stuff. And I was like, so
what's the point of y'all hanging out?
Yeah. I was like, what? And I'm sitting over here like, oh, I don't have any friends, and look at her. And I was comparing myself.
And you like, you ain't got no friends either. We both ain't got no friends.
So don't compare your relationship.
We both
You don't
by
know.
ourselves.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember to 1, 2,
gosh.
3, stay inspired.
Oh my god, that was kind of cute.
Oh my God.